It's Friday afternoon. You just got paid. You check your bank account, and for a moment, everything feels secure. Then Monday morning arrives. You open your banking app, scroll through your transactions, and realize that half your paycheck is already gone. There was no luxury vacation, no massive shopping spree, just everyday life, groceries, gas, a few taps on your phone, and dinner with a friend. Most people think being broke is the result of one big mistake. In reality, it's usually the result of small habits repeated every day. A coffee here, a subscription there, a quick online purchase that feels harmless in the moment. Individually, these choices seem insignificant, but over time, they quietly shape your financial future. The good news? The same small habits that create financial stress can also create financial freedom. Today isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Because once you understand the habits influencing your money, you gain the power to change them. Let's look at 15 habits that quietly keep people broke and what to do instead. 1. Taking financial advice from the wrong people. One of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make is deciding who you listen to. Many people take money advice from friends, relatives, coworkers, or influencers who haven't achieved the financial results they want themselves. Think about it this way. If someone has never climbed a mountain, would you trust them to guide you to the summit? The same principle applies to money. Learn from people who have already achieved the goals you're working toward, whether they're mentors, investors, entrepreneurs, authors, or financially responsible individuals who practice what they teach. Your environment matters more than you think. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If everyone around you treats financial struggle as normal, it's easy to accept it as your reality too. That doesn't mean you need to abandon your friends. It simply means being intentional about who influences your thinking. Seek out people who inspire growth, challenge your assumptions, and demonstrate the financial habits you want to build. The quality of your financial advice can shape the quality of your financial future. 2. The Peanuts Effect and ignoring small expenses. Habit number 2 is what behavioral economists call the Peanuts Effect. Small purchases, a $6 coffee, a snack, or sparkling water, often don't trigger the same pain of paying response as larger purchases. Because they seem insignificant, they barely feel like decisions at all. But small expenses add up quickly. A $6 coffee 5 days a week can cost more than $1,500 a year. That's the challenge with small spending habits. They're easy to overlook. Many people avoid checking their finances because it feels stressful. But when you don't know where your money is going, it's difficult to take control of it. Successful people regularly track their spending because awareness helps them make better decisions. A daily coffee, quick takeout, convenience purchases, and impulse buys may not seem like much on their own. Yet repeated over weeks, months, and years, they can quietly drain thousands of dollars from your budget. Instead of asking yourself, can I afford this today? Try asking the following. Would I still buy this if I saw the total cost over an entire year? That simple shift in perspective can completely change how you spend and how much you save. Habit number 3, the convenience tax, delivery, and subscriptions. Convenience is great, but when it becomes automatic, it can quietly drain your money. Food delivery is a perfect example. A $28 burrito bowl can easily turn into $42 after delivery fees, service charges, tips, and menu markups. Those extra costs add up fast, and the average American spends over $1,500 a year on delivery markups alone. Subscriptions create a similar problem because they're easy to forget. Many people think they spend around $86 a month on subscriptions, but the real number is often much higher, closer to $219 on average. That gap can mean more than $1,600 a year going to services you barely use. A meditation app open twice a year. Cloud storage for a one-time project. Streaming services you forgot to cancel. The issue isn't convenience itself. It's paying for convenience without thinking about the long-term cost. These are small leaks, not dramatic mistakes. And that's why they're easy to miss. A simple monthly review of your recurring charges and delivery spending can make a huge difference. You may find money leaving your account for services you haven't used in months. Take 5 minutes, scan your bank statement, and ask, do I still use this? Is it worth the cost? Would I sign up for it again today? If the answer is no, cancel it. Convenience should make life easier, not quietly become a second rent payment. Habit number 4, brand loyalty versus the generic advantage. Habit number 4 is choosing brands over value. There's nothing wrong with buying brand name products. The problem is paying more simply because of a familiar label when a less expensive alternative offers the same result. Many of us automatically reach for certain products without thinking, whether it's medication, cleaning supplies, or pantry staples. In many cases, generic versions contain the same active ingredients or provide nearly identical quality at a fraction of the cost. Those small price differences may not seem significant in the moment, but they can add up over time. For the average family, switching to generic alternatives for everyday essentials can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars each year. The goal isn't to buy the cheapest option every time. The goal is to pay for value. When you focus on what a product does rather than the logo on the package, you free up more money for the things that truly matter: saving, investing, and building your future. Smart spending isn't about sacrifice. It's about making intentional choices. Habit number 5, fantasy self-spending. A common financial trap is spending money on your fantasy self, the version of you wish you were, rather than the one you actually are right now. It might look like buying expensive gym equipment before you've built a workout habit, or picking up designer outfits and high heels for a lifestyle you don't currently live. Even something like 4-inch stilettos for a Carrie Bradshaw version of your life, when your daily routine is just walking to work. There's nothing wrong with wanting to invest in yourself, but those investments only work when they're matched with action. Otherwise, they just become unused purchases that quietly drain your money. Real change doesn't come from what you buy. It comes from what you consistently do. Start with the habit first. Build the routine. Then, as your commitment grows, your spending can grow with it in a meaningful way. Habit number 6, the status game, keeping up with the Joneses. A common financial trap is trying to impress people who don't even matter in your life. This is the keeping up with the Joneses mindset, where social comparison pushes you to match or exceed other people's lifestyles, even at the cost of your own financial future. It becomes a kind of Red Queen's race, where you're constantly running just to stay in the same place. Social media makes it easy to believe everyone else is winning. New cars, luxury vacations, designer brands, perfect lifestyles. But appearances can be deceiving. Many wealthy people live surprisingly modest lives, while some people who appear wealthy are deeply in debt. What you see is often just a highlight reel. Financial freedom gets much easier when you stop performing for others and start focusing on your own goals. Your financial journey doesn't need an audience. Habit number 7, lifestyle creep and adaptation. As soon as you get a raise, you upgrade your apartment or your car. Your brain adapts to this new baseline in about 90 days. This process is called hedonic adaptation. And suddenly you feel just as broke at $65,000 as you did at $55,000, only with higher bills that are difficult to downgrade. The result is simple. Even if you earn more, your financial situation doesn't really change because your expenses grow just as fast. The modern economy is engineered to keep you spending without stopping to think. You get a raise. You earn a bonus. You start making more money. That's great. But if every increase in income immediately leads to increased spending, your financial situation never really changes. One of the most powerful financial habits is resisting that automatic upgrade. Keep your lifestyle mostly the same as your income grows and let the difference work for you. The gap between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth is created. Habit number 8, using credit as a crutch. Relying on credit cards for everyday expenses like groceries or gas is a dangerous habit that leads to a cycle of debt. 61% of Americans are currently in credit card debt, often because they use credit as a substitute for an actual income or a lack of tracking. Credit cards can be useful tools, but they become dangerous when they're used to fund a lifestyle that's larger than your income can support. When credit is used freely and not paid off in full every month, interest charges pile up, and you end up paying for everything twice. Interest begins working against you. Instead of helping you build wealth, your money starts building wealth for someone else. A solid rule for financial health is if you cannot pay for it in full today, you cannot afford it. Use credit strategically, not emotionally. Habit number 9, the minimum payment trap. Credit card companies intentionally set minimum payments low to keep customers in debt as long as possible. Minimum payments may feel manageable, but they can quietly keep you trapped for years. Interest compounds over time, causing small balances to become surprisingly expensive. If you carry a $6,500 balance at 22% interest and only pay the minimum, it will take you 18 years to pay it off. You'll pay $9,000 in interest for $6,500 worth of stuff. This habit mathematically guarantees that a person remains broke for years, paying $15,500 for $6,500 worth of original purchases. It doesn't feel urgent month to month, but interest compounds in the background, making small balances far more expensive over time. The good news is you can break this cycle. Whenever possible, pay more than the minimum. Every extra dollar you pay above the minimum goes directly toward reducing your balance, cutting future interest, and speeding up your progress. It's a small shift that makes a big difference over time. Habit number 10, buy now, pay later, BNPL, myths. The rise of buy now, pay later, BNPL, services has created a false sense of affordability. Splitting a $200 purchase into 4 easy payments of $50 can make it feel manageable, but it often leads people to underestimate the real cost. In reality, if someone needs installments to afford an item, it's a sign they may not truly have room for it in their budget. Research also shows BNPL users tend to spend about 6% more per transaction, and 42% made at least one late payment in 2025. These services can make spending feel lighter, but they can also encourage overspending without people realizing it. To break free, you need to shift how you think about affordability and value. Breaking a cost into smaller payments doesn't make it more affordable. True affordability depends on whether the purchase fits comfortably within your budget. Before using any installment plan, pause and ask yourself, would I still buy this if I had to pay the full amount today? That one question is often enough to bring clarity. Habit number 11, ignoring the bank account and lack of budgeting. Many people avoid checking their finances because it creates stress, which Dan Martell describes as sticking your head in the sand. Ironically, avoidance usually creates even more stress later. Without a budget, you are essentially driving blindfolded and hoping you do not crash. Money improves when it's managed. What you measure grows. Therefore, successful people track their cash daily or weekly to stay on pulse. Budgeting is not about restriction. It is about intention, telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You don't need complicated spreadsheets. You don't need accounting software. Just know what comes in, what goes out, and where your money is going. Awareness creates control. Control creates confidence. Habit number 12, relying on only one income stream. Most people start with a single source of income, and that's completely normal. But relying only on one stream can limit your long-term financial growth. 65% of self-made millionaires have at least 3 streams of income. The idea is simple. Wealth grows when your income isn't tied only to your time. There's also a mindset difference in how people use resources. Broke people trade their time for a paycheck. Rich people trade their money to buy back their time. If you spend 3 hours driving across town to save $20, you are undervaluing your life. To build wealth, one must transition from being an employee, trading time for money, to an entrepreneur, trading money for labor, and eventually an empire builder, trading money for more money. Building wealth often requires creating additional streams over time. This could include freelancing, digital products, investments, side businesses, content creation, consulting, royalties. You don't need to build everything at once. The goal is simple. Create ways for your income to grow beyond your working hours. Habit number 13, waiting for the right time to invest. One of the most expensive habits is waiting until you have enough or earn more to start investing. Many people tell themselves, I'll start investing when I make more money. The problem is that time is one of the most valuable assets investors have. But compound interest means that the time your money spends in the market is more important than the amount you start with. A 25-year-old who invests $200 a month will often end up with more wealth at 65 than a 35-year-old who starts with $400 a month. Procrastinating on investment is effectively delaying the development of wealth creation behaviors. Starting small today often beats waiting years for the perfect moment. The amount matters, but the habit matters even more. You don't need a large portfolio to get started. You just need to begin. Consistency beats perfection every single time. Habit number 14, paying yourself last. The poor people's habit is paying everyone else first, receiving a paycheck and immediately paying rent, utilities, subscriptions, bills, and then they try to save whatever is left, which is usually nothing. The rich people's habit is paying yourself first. This means automating a percentage, at least 10%, of every paycheck into savings or investments before any bills are paid, so the money is gone before temptation even shows up. Even a small percentage automatically transferred into savings or investments can make an enormous difference over time. This treats saving and investing like a required expense, not something you only do if there's money left over. Treat future you like a monthly bill that deserves to be paid on time. Habit number 15. Focusing only on saving instead of growing. Cutting small expenses like lattes can help, but you can't build real wealth just by saving a little here and there. While cutting lattes is a start, there's a limit to how much you can save. There's far less limit to how much you can earn. Financial growth comes from improving your skills, increasing your value, and creating more ways to earn income. Learn new skills, develop expertise, explore technology, build assets, play defense by saving, but also play offense by growing. Financial stability doesn't come after you get rich. It's something you build on the way there. When you start making intentional choices with your money, you stop losing track of it and start taking control. If there's one thing to remember from this video, it's this. Financial freedom doesn't happen all at once. It's built through small, steady decisions over time. The good news is you don't need to fix everything today. Just start with one habit, focus on it, get better at it, then move to the next. Small steps, done consistently, can change your life over time. A year from now, the habits you start today can make a real difference in your financial future. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. What matters is taking that first step. Here's your action step for today. Pick just one small thing you can do. Check your bank account, cancel one and use subscription, or set up a small automatic savings, even just $20. Money isn't complicated. It just needs attention and consistency. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for more income. Start where you are. Start building your better financial life today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.